For today's lesson, you're going to need your notes for vertical angles, and if you would like, you can open your book to page 25 and follow along. When two lines intersect each other at a point, and you can see that I drew over the top of this example here, and I called line AB this blue line, and line CD the green line. When they form these four angles, the non-adjacent angles are called vertical angles. Remember, adjacent angles we did a couple days ago, they sit right next to each other. They share a common vertex and a common ray, but they have no interior points in common. So for instance, angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles in this picture. So the non-adjacent pair are angle 1 and angle 3, and they are diagonally across from each other. And the vertical angles, angle 2 and angle 4, are vertically across from each other, or diagonally across from each other. They can be connected by like a straight line. So 1 and 3 are a pair of vertical angles, and 2 and 4 are a pair of vertical angles. So then reading here, let me go to this caution note first. It says vertical angles are formed by intersecting lines. The angles in the diagram below are not vertical angles because this would have to go straight down for this to be a line. So this is not straight lines. This picture is drawn by four rays meeting at a common point. There's a ray, second ray, third ray, and fourth ray. If it was two lines, and they kind of make that X pattern, that's vertical angles being formed, not in the rays being joined there or something that looks kind of bent like that. Because in this picture, and let me erase this so you can see it a little better, because in this picture angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles, which they are, they form a straight line. They form CD. They are supplementary. So they're forming line CD. Angle 2 and angle 3 are also adjacent angles, and they form a straight line. They are also supplementary. So angle 2 and angle 3 are forming line AB, the blue line there, that straight line. So here's AB. So we know that angle 1 plus angle 2 make the straight line CD, so they have to add to 180. And angle 2 and angle 3 make the straight line AB, the blue line, they have to add to 180. If I'm adding angle 2 and angle 2 twice to two different numbers, measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 3, they must equal each other. Because angle 2 is in both sums there, that means that you can deduce that angle 1 and angle 3 have to be equal in measure. They are also, what equal in measure means is congruent. So they are congruent angles. They are equal in measure. They have to be the same angle. Angle 1 and angle 3 are the same, which I showed you. And angle 2 and angle 4. Vertical angles are congruent. That's what all of this English is trying to tell you. Vertical angles are congruent, meaning they are the same. So 2 equals 4 and 1 equals 3. Line AB and CD are straight lines. Find the value of X. Since this angle over here is diagonally straight across from the angle across from it, which is 60, they are vertical angles. This is showing you a pair of vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent, meaning they can be set equal to each other. They are equal in measure. So 2x has to equal 60. So dividing by 2, x must equal 30. Because this has to be 60. Yes, 2 times 30 is 60. And that has to be 60. Vertical angles are equal in measure. They're both going to be 60s. Now they're showing me a pair of vertical angles on the top and the bottom. Remember, they're diagonally across from each other. So find the value of y. You have to be told that AB and CD are straight lines, which we are. We're given that these are straight lines. So they make 180 degrees plus 180 degrees. So I also know that the value of y can be found by the vertical angles. 3y has to equal 120 because vertical angles are equal or congruent, equal in measure, congruent. Divide by 3 on both sides, and you get y equals 40. So 3 times 40 is 120. I plug that back in there. Yes, I solved this correctly. The two angles that are diagonally across from each other, they're non-adjacent, another way you could think of it. Those are vertical angles. Vertical angles are congruent, which means they are equal in measure. In the diagram, two straight lines intersect to form angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, which they then called ABC and 76. Find the value of each variable if the measure of angle 1 is 76. So, if I know the measure of angle 1, I know that 1 plus 2 makes this straight line. And 1 and 3 have to be exactly the same because they're vertical angles. So that's what this thing says. Angle 1 and 3 have to be the same. They're vertical angles. And I call them also, another thing that I call vertical angles, I call them a bow tie, because this to me looks like a bow tie. Vertical angles kind of make a shape that looks like a bow tie. So I do call them bow tie every once in a while. You'll hear me say that. They are the non-adjacent, diagonally across from each other. They have to be the same. So I know 1 and 3, or 1 and B, are both 76. 1 and 2, as you saw here, have to add to 180 because they make the top arc here of 180 degrees. So 76 plus what number? 104 makes 180. So this angle, A, is 104 degrees. So I automatically know what angle 4 is, because angle 2 is the vertical angle with angle 4, or angle A and C. I don't know why they number them and give them letters. So angle A and C are vertical angles. They are diagonally across from each other. They also make what kind of looks like a bow tie. So it looks kind of like this shape. That's what I think of it. So that bow tie there, 2 and 4, or A and C, are both the same, 104. And if you add all 4 of them up, you should get 360, which you would do. So 2 and 4 are vertical angles. They equal 104. 1 and 3, or 1 and B, are also vertical angles. They add to 76. So if you know one of the angles, you know the other 3. So, okay, in the diagram, two straight lines form the 4 angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then they give them letters again, P, Q, and R. I know 1 and 3 are vertical angles. So they have to be congruent. So angle 3, which is the same thing as angle Q, both of those, so Q has to also equal 114. This 114 has to match this 114. Vertical angles. And angle 2 and angle 4 also have to be equal. But angle 2 and 3 make this straight line here. That's what we were told, that they are two straight lines. So 2 and 3 are supplementary adjacent angles. So that 114, that's 3, plus my angle 2, which they're calling R, has to equal 180. So subtract 114 from 180, and you're going to get 66 has to equal that R. So if 66 is R, P is also 66, because that's the pair of vertical angles that are diagonally across this way. So 2 and 4, or P and R, angle P and angle R are 66 degrees, which is also called angle 2 and angle 4. So 114, 66, 114 and 66 does add to 360. That's another way you can check that. And the last example, again, vertical angles are congruent. Ooh, now we have more angles in here. So we have 3 straight lines. Find the missing variables, A and B. So since line AB here is made up of 3 angles, hopefully you see this. It's made up of A plus this little tiny angle of 13 plus B. This little tiny angle of 13 has a vertical angle with it, which is this 13. I know that. So I have to find what A and B are. So I know that, A, I can see, is a vertical angle with this A over here has a vertical angle right here by these two lines intersecting. EF intersecting with CD. So this A over here has to be the same as this 106. I know that because that's a pair of vertical angles, that green pair there. And 13 and 13, that's a pair of vertical angles. And B, in this one that isn't labeled over here, this angle over here is another color, this B and this angle are vertical angles. So this picture, because it has three lines, it has three pairs of vertical angles. But we found A so far. So A was 106. This little slice here, which is 13, and B have to make that blue arc that I have there. So 106 plus the little slice of 13, which I don't have to write the degree symbol on here, plus B has to equal 180 degrees. They're making that blue arc, that half, because they're making up line AB. So that's 119 plus some B equals 180. Subtracting 119 from both sides, you get B has to equal 61 degrees. So this is 61 degrees, and this side over here is 61 degrees. Didn't say we had to find that, but we could deduce all of those angles. And if I add 61, 106, 13, 61, 106, and 13, yes, I'm going to get 360 degrees. Vertical angles, it can get a little tricky having more than just two lines. So in summation, vertical angles are non-adjacent angles when two or more lines intersect. And they kind of look like a bow tie, and they are diagonally across from each other. Vertical angles are non-adjacent, diagonally across from each other, and they are congruent, which means equal in measure.